One of the most common questions that contractors ask is that if I do adopt liquids in my business, how do I price them to my customers? If your customers are used to getting charged per occurrence at a certain price, continue charging per occurrence at that exact same price. Just because you as a contractor are gaining some cost savings by salt reduction does not mean you need to pass those savings on, because you're investing in equipment and training of your staff and implementing an entire new segment to your business. You're also offering more value to your clients because they're going to have cleaner properties, faster melted ice and snow, and less chloride damage to their properties. If you're a contractor that's used to billing per pound or per ton, this can become more challenging. This is not something we typically recommend doing with liquids. When applying liquids, we're always trying to apply the least amount to get the maximum results and value for our clients. In this case, we're best off billing by the occurrence as opposed to by the unit. To help you better understand the cost savings associated with implementing liquids in your business, we're going to run through a basic scenario. Because companies and conditions vary greatly, let's work off of two standard assumptions. Assumption 1 is that you have 100 acres of portfolio to service. And assumption 2 is that your cost of salt is $70 per ton. First, let's look at the cost of spreading bulk salt. Let's say the contractor is going to go out and apply a pre-salting at the industry average of 500 pounds per acre. To cover that 100 acres at the $70 per ton we talked about, the cost for the contractor is going to be $1,750. Now the event's over, he's plowed all of his sites, and it's time to do his final salting to fulfill his obligations to his clients. He now again applies the industry average 1,000 pounds per acre for a post-salting at a total cost of $3,850. The contractor has now spent $5,600 in order to complete all of his accounts and call the work done for the day. He's also now hoping that the temperature never dropped below 10 degrees, in which white bulk salt is no longer effective. Had it dropped below that 10 degrees, he would have needed to use treated salt in order to get these same results at a substantially higher cost. Now we're going to look at the exact same scenario, except this time we're going to use liquids. The first thing the contractor is going to do is he's going to go out and pre-treat at the recommended 40 gallon per acre rate. Keep in mind that each gallon of salt brine mixed properly to the 23.3% eutectic point contains 2.28 pounds of salt. The total cost for this pretreatment application on the 100 acres at the same $70 per ton is $319. Now the event's over, all the lots have been plowed, and it's time to do our post-treatment. We're going to apply the recommended 80 gallons per acre at a cost of $638. We're going to assume that all the brine applied was a 90-10 blend of salt brine to additive. The reason for this, again, is because we always recommend using a salt brine additive with our brine to get the most efficiency and effectiveness. The national average cost of this additive is $2 per gallon. So to cover all this ground on both our pre and post treatment, we're going to use 1,200 gallons of that additive at a total cost of $2,400. If we take the $2,400 plus the $638 for the post treatment with brine and the $319 for the pre-treatment with brine, our total cost to treat all of our sites is $3,357. As you can see in this scenario, the liquid use created substantial salt savings for the contractor, coming in at $2,243. But that's just at the cost of salt. That does not factor in the substantial labor savings and the efficiency gains by knowing that his employees are putting down the correct amount of product regardless of their application speed due to the rate control that's on the VSI by Boss legacy spray systems. We've also substantially reduced corrosion on both our trucks and our clients' properties by the use of additives in our brine. This also was not an apples-to-apples comparison. In this comparison, a substantial amount of our cost was the additive we put in our brine. That 90-10 blend of salt brine and additive would have given us a working temperature as cold as -15 degrees Fahrenheit. And we compared that cost with straight bulk white salt, which only would have worked down to about 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So these savings could have been recognized even more substantially had we done an apples-to-apples comparison using treated salt compared to the 90-10 blend of brine. These numbers clearly demonstrate that liquids offer a great return on investment for your contracting business. They also offer tremendous environmental, effectiveness, and competitive advantages for both you and for your clients. Liquid is a tool, and salt is still salt. So let's work to maximize the tool while also realizing its limitations. Continue watching this series to elevate your liquid IQ.